Welcome to step 5 in our journey toward oneness with God and with one another. Step 5 is admit to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. This step is an act of dethronement of the false self, the self-centered ego. It knocks the crown right off and all our illusions of grandeur. When you are forced to be brutally honest and face your complicity in wrongdoing and evil, you come headlong into a very resistant confrontation with your pure and superior self-image. The ego always wants to feel superior, pure, right, clean. So first stage religion, if you wanted to call it that, helps many people to give up the hot sins, the sins that are visible and obviously hurtful. But they don't really want to achieve divine oneness. Many people give up the humiliating and defilements or the being possessed kind of things of sin, but they're not really ready to be repossessed by God. The overwhelming amount of religion I have encountered is morality, not spirituality. And that's true in myself. People who want to have a higher moral ground, but aren't necessarily people who want to fall in love with God. The confrontation with both God and evil is equally dangerous if one wants to retain one's superior self-image. Most people, as a result, find ways to protect themselves from the humiliating goodness of God's grace and the humiliating nature of evil, the hot sins. This is the danger of never getting past a kind of first stage or beginner's religion. The false self cannot bear the burden of its own impurity and emptiness, and so it gathers demons like smugness, certainty, righteousness, pride, and it tries to cover its nakedness. And they all can pass for holiness. And when that happens, my self-image is secure. The ego or the self does not want to be occupied by anyone but itself. It will not give up its self-enthronement. Thus, for most people, it's very hard to admit their wrongs. We all need help in admitting our wrongs. And so we have Jesus. Jesus became the problem to overcome the problem. He enters into solidarity with sin and pain to unlock it from within. His Spirit did not seek to separate himself from the unworthy world, but instead he accepts it. He weeps over it. He forgives it. Instead of hating it, he absorbs it. This is the rare and seemingly doubtful way of Jesus. It is in our confession of sin that we are transformed into holiness. It is admitting our brokenness. It is in admitting our brokenness that sin loses its power over us. It is in being accountable and honest about our failure to love God that we indeed fall in love with God. It's always very counterintuitive. It looks like weakness, while in fact it's getting the job done in the long haul. Now, demons can't wait that long. But thanks be to God, we belong to God. And God empowers us to admit to God, to ourselves, and to others our wrongdoings. Indeed, thanks be to God.